So we started utilizing a mathematical system that really started to catch a lot of steam in our industry post 2009. And you have to go back to a little bit of the history of why did this happen. 2008, in the great financial crisis, we watched a lot of these banks and financial institutions on their knees, damn near on the brink of collapse. And why? It's because they all lean on a risk metric, how they gauge risk within all different aspects of their business, were all tied to traditional Gaussian mathematics. And we found ourselves in that black swan event, right? That took us outside of that 99.7% understanding of what Gaussian represents. Because remember, back then we saw greater than 50% drop in the S&P 500 at that time. And all of a sudden, these institutions are saying, gosh, I thought we had a great line of sight on where how we were hedging risk within our business model. And then they were darn near bankrupt. So what do you think these institutions do to when they come out of it? Well, they put their nose to the grindstone, right? They go out there and they say, if there's a better way to track that, we need to start digging into that mathematical approach. And that is where heavy tail risk analysis really started to take flight within our industry. But unfortunately, the amount of time for the calculations to run heavy tail risk math, the amount of money that it takes, it just has not found its way to the retail space. But we have been focused over the last 2.5 years and dedicated to trying to bring more and more of that heavy tail risk math into our process. Because if I can close the gap even by 0.20% of understanding of worst case scenarios, when these types of market environments, and you can go back, right? The Black Tuesday crash, we did a whole deal on these. The Nixon movement, you had the dot-com bubble burst, you had the global financial crisis. And then more recently, we had the COVID movement. When these types of events come out of the woodworks, you've got to make sure that you have complete control of risk understanding in these drawdown types of markets.
Right, and if you don't, that's where bad things start to happen. That's when the emotion of fear kicks in. You make a decision that's probably the wrong decision, and you're way too late to the game to make a change because you didn't have the right protection mechanisms built within your portfolio, or you didn't understand what that potential drawdown really was within your portfolio. And again, even in Gaussian, there you went outside of that stated risk level. So even though a person might have said, well, I thought my worst case scenario was 34%, here I am down 50, what the hell's going on? How do I get out of this thing? Then the pain is too late, right?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And feel free to give us some comments below. If you want to watch this entire episode, you can find the link here on the screen or in the description below. Thanks for watching.
Starting your route to retirement.